Beyond Black and White. It's Crystal and Karazin, and I have with me Amber. Amber, tell us a little bit about why you are here. We are in Atlanta. We're at the beautiful Georgian Terrace Hotel. Tell us a little bit about you.
Well, I am an actress here in Atlanta, Georgia. Definitely moved to get a little more of the dating pool going on and get closer to my family. So when the babies come, I'm already here, but definitely here for the acting scene.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, very cool, very cool. So the reason why I wanted to have you on is because, as you know, I do the question of the week, and so this is a regional question, so I thought I'd get somebody who is here in the thick of it to kind of have this discussion. So on the blog, I had a woman reach out to me, African-American woman who lives in the South, and she said she's always been interested in interracial relationships, interracial dating, but she's a little bit hesitant because she's always heard that non-black men, particularly white men, want a little bit more of a slimmer woman, and she's a big girl. She says she's working on it, but she says I will never be, super thin. But so she is overweight, and so it's a question that I get a lot. And also, to be quite honest with you, a lot of resistance and defensiveness about that. So I wanted to get, what's the flavor here in the South, and how are women's self-image issues with that, particularly with black women, on the issues of weight?
I think that we have always been a culture, and I say we because don't let this light skin fool you. Both your parents are black. I don't know how I came out this color.
Hey,
yeah, we all
it just
come out
happens.
The Cosby kids.
Yes.
That's true. But I think we as black women have always had an appreciation for our curves, and that's a beautiful thing. And I think that it's a womanly thing, and it's okay to have those. But I think that we kind of teeter-totter on the line of going to thick to overweight.
Right. And curves does not mean
rolls.
Blubber.
It does not mean extra.
Curves is a silhouette, right?
Right.
It's the it's an hourglass figure.
And sometimes, maybe you don't have the top, but you got the bottom. Or
exactly.
But it's still somewhere in there, some type of proportion. And I think we cop out a lot. And we cop out to the fact that across the board, men are visual. And if you're going to have a visual man that is a man, we can do color all day long. Men are men, they're visual.
Exactly.
They fall in love with their eyes first and foremost. Then they have to step into saying, okay, if I'm going to be with a man that I would want looks at, what am I representing? And if you're a big girl and you're losing weight and you're getting there, then make sure it's all put together quite nicely. And continue to lose the weight, because men tree branch in their thought process. And they go into, well, I look at you and you're not a reflection of someone that takes care of themselves in my eyes. And, they're probably going to cuss me out, but this is the truth. Now, I can also say I was 165 pounds at one point in time.
Wow.
And I lost 51 and gained a little bit back. But
you gained it in the right places.
In the right places.
Let me tell you. But what did you do to lose that weight?
All right, so I'm going to do that on camera. Bread makes you spread, dough makes you grow. Fried makes you wide, and white ain't right. So on top of walking, I didn't do strenuous. I didn't do boot camps. I didn't have someone yelling at me. I lost the weight at a comfortable pace for myself, and I didn't just stop when I maintained that eating habit and that walking and that exercise, and I maintained it. And it wasn't for anybody else. It's because the doctor told me I had high cholesterol and I have a family history of health problems.
Yes.
Seeing my mother with a diabetic needle used to
too.
break my heart, and she almost went into diabetic coma, and I had a choice to make, and it was about my health first. So going back to when men tree branch into their thought process, they look at a reflection of a woman and they think, well, you don't look like you're taking care of yourself. Are you going to take care of my kids? Are you going to take care of me? Are you going to cook me into a diabetic coma?
So they just make that stretch.
That assumption is always within the first few moments. And I always say it's nothing wrong with being plus size, but be a sexy plus size. And then if you are overweight or you're hitting things that are causing health problems, you need to take care of those for yourself first and foremost. But when you talk about attracting a man of any race, they are visual beings, and you have to be visually appealing. And that can be different things for different people. Maybe a man likes a little meat on your bones, but he wants to know, are you going to maintain that size and not go overboard? Are you eating crescent rolls and croissants and bread and dough and pasta?
And you don't even have any kids yet. Like, he's thinking, well, what's she going to look like when she starts having
Is she already
children?
Working out? Is she going to work out after the kid? Is she going to get herself back together? Because the attraction can go away. If you're no longer looking at a reflection of the person you fell in love with, you're looking at a different person. And if that person isn't the same one, then how do you expect somebody to still be in love with that initial you that they fell in love with in the first place?
Exactly.
Physically, it's a heartbreaking thing to think, oh, you don't love me inside, but outside is what we wake up to every single morning.
Exactly. And again, the visual characteristic of men and just the way their thought processes, they don't go away.
Right.
Men were born visual and they die that way. They don't ever. And so let's tap on real quick about the whole issue of, oh, well, he should just love me for me. Specifically, there was a girl in high school who was about to go in college who wrote me a note. It broke my heart. She was about 100 pounds overweight, and she was attracted to the blonde, blue-eyed jocks on the football team, gorgeous, Greek god-looking guys, and she's 100 pounds overweight. And what I tell the readers on the blog Beyond Black and White, and just when I go out and I speak, weight distorts your features. And what I find is that Black African American women are beautiful. But what happens with the overweight is that those features do get distorted. And people aren't looking at you. They're looking sort of through you because they don't see a lot of you overweight people communicate, oh, people don't see me, I'm invisible. And you know what? I had to try to explain this to her, honey. You seem like a really sweet girl. You look like you have a really pretty face, but you might want to address that weight. And she says, well, they should like me for me. But she's not liking the other overweight guys in her high school. She wants the good-looking jock guys. Mm-hmm. So it's like you want what you want. You want like the Greek god-looking guy, but you don't want to reciprocate that expectation when it comes to yourself.
Mm-hmm. I definitely think that we have to put out what we want to receive, and you also have to take a realistic look at what you're doing, what you're giving, and what you're expecting, and do they add up? And putting in the work. If he's the jock and he's hitting the gym, and you're not, usually like attracts like.
Exactly.
Opposites don't necessarily always attract, and opposites can attract maybe in color, but maybe spirituality and your vibes and your the things that you have in common are alike, but opposites don't necessarily attract.
Exactly. And you go outside right now. If we were to go outside of this hotel, if we were to people watch, how many really overweight women would we see with a skinny guy, or vice versa?
And it does happen.
Or tall, short. I mean, we tend to, and it's usually, weight usually is associated with a value system. So it's not necessarily, oh, somebody has to be, super model type, but unfortunately, people associate overweight with certain values. A lot of times, overweight people are stereotyped as being lazy. It's not necessarily true. It's most likely to do with eating habits. Some of the hardest working people I know are very overweight, but it's the eating habits. Because they're working so much, because they're stressed so much, they're just going out and they're just getting the quick white bread, sugar, and all those things. But I think overweight people do get a bad rap. It's unfortunate, but this is the world that we live in.
And one thing I can say is I've noticed a trend, at least in Hollywood, is that everyone who was so proud to be overweight eventually lost the weight.
You make an excellent point.
So were they, and I'm not saying you can't be confident.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
There's nothing wrong being confident, but they eventually lost the weight, and they said, I feel so much better. And I can say, well, my sister had my nephew. I had to run to the hospital, and I said, there's no way with 51 extra pounds I would have even made it on time. Yeah. And so you do feel a lot better. When you feel better, you're more confident. I went shopping for the first time. I felt great.
I know.
So, I mean, honestly, the truth of the matter is that whoever may be wanting something different, you can't do what you've always done. So if you're not getting the results that you want, you have to change something. So if they're seeking the advice, they have to be ready to receive. Exactly. And if you're not ready to receive it, and they're seeking the advice from you for obviously a good reason, then you have to be ready to put in some action. And while you should never want somebody that doesn't want you, you at least have to give yourself an opportunity to say, okay, you don't want this, and know that you're really saying you don't want this, and not give them a reason to say, no, I don't want that. And you may just not be somebody's type even when you lose the weight, but at least give yourself a playing chance. And the overall game is that men are visual. Yeah. No matter how you cut it, they are visual. Yeah. So across the board, black, white, old, young, they're visual. So if you're going to give them something to look at, you got to give them the best you to look at, whether that be maybe a plus size healthy you or a slim down healthy you. It should be a healthy, attractive, well put together form of you.
Exactly. And I mean, really, that's what it's about. to get something you never had, you have to do something you've never done.
That might be hit a treadmill.
That's right.
A gym membership.
Put down the ho-hos and Twinkies.
Put the dough away. That might be, put the bread with every meal pasta.
I just got to say, I just have to shout out to Atlanta. Okay, I know you guys are like the soul food capital of the world, but I go to, it's like 7-Eleven. The soul food restaurants are like 7-Eleven, and the desserts, it's sweet potato pie, it's peach cobblers, it's red velvet cake. I asked somebody the other day, where's the Whole Foods? The whole what? What's the Whole Foods? That's a health
suburbia.
store.
It's in suburbia.
And here's the thing, it's you almost can't get away from it. You have to almost buck what everybody else is doing. And so I do have some empathy for the fact that healthy food, you have to seek it out because the availability of good food seems to be...
I don't live here, and I'll tell you why. I had to figure it out. And McDonald's is McDonald's, and I love two McDoubles pushed together with extra mac sauce, but they also have a salad on the menu.
Yeah,
and that's
they do.
Everywhere. So for me, I had to go no excuses and decide to change my life and my health. And so I don't have sympathy. People are crying about things that they can change. And it goes, if you keep doing what you've always done. Yes, Whole Foods is out in suburbia, and if you live in the city, and soul food places are everywhere. That's a choice that you make.
That's true.
Ask for a salad. Ask for a simple sandwich on wheat bread. Ask them to switch something out so you can be healthy. Put up the pasta.
See,
no, you don't need dough.
She
was trying to help, but I ain't got it.
Amber is not having it. She has zero tolerance.
And women, you're having a beautiful panel event coming up. Hopefully, I don't know if this is going to air before or after, but
it'll air tonight. So
okay.
yeah, it'll be right before. So everybody who's supposed to be at the Atlanta Piedmont Center, y'all need to be there because we're going to be talking about this. We're expecting hundreds of people, and we're going to really tackle this issue in great detail. No holds barred. It's going to be completely raw. I know somebody's feelings is going to end up getting hurt, but I think we're going to change some lives.
They might
definitely.
need some tissue.
They really might, and we will provide it for free.
Black women are so amped on being real. We got to get real with ourselves. We have the lowest marital rate. Yes. We don't expect to get
highest
married.
out of wedlock rate. Unbelievable.
We were killing ourselves, and then we're expecting to raise our sons as men, and we're women. We can never just put all of that, and we can raise them to be good people. But we need men to teach them how to be men. But we're giving up all of those privileges of marriage first and foremost, and
not even expecting it, not feeling even that we're worthy of it. Some of us don't. It doesn't even come to mind. They say, "I want to have kids," and it's like, "Oh, I want to have children," but it's like, "Do you want to get married?" What is that? That's for white people. Marriage is not for white people, and marriage is not a middle class value. This marriage has been around for thousands of years, and it's worked for thousands of years because it's not perfect, but it's the best system that we've got to help raise children who feel safe and secure and productive members of society. Hands down, it's the best that we have. Unless somebody can come up with something better, this is what we've got. It's the best thing.
Well, on my Facebook, I ask a ton of questions, and I know that one of the things that I've asked was, would you do it all over again? Would you be a single mom again? And most of them say, if I would never give my kids back. And that's always, of course, the answer. You love your children, but if I could do it again, or the next time that I do it, I'm going to do it that way.
Exactly.
And unfortunately, we don't have the parents to tell you why it was so important.
Exactly. And my first child, I was not married. So I know. Nobody can tell me, oh, you're snubbing your nose, you're looking down. Oh, no. I was there. I did it. I know how hard it is. You cannot fake the funk with me because I was there working those hours, So it definitely, it's a real situation. It's touchy, but it's something that we definitely need to discuss. So, Amber, thank you so much.
Thank you. My pleasure.
I love this. I wish I could do Question of the Week this way every week. Special thanks to Joe Wheeler for his wonderful camera work. And hopefully everybody's watching. I'll see you tomorrow at the Marriott Piedmont Center. Bye.